the box office for Backrooms is not quite as much as Obsession, but it is definitely going to overtake Obsession. Backrooms costs around 10 million, roughly, but they're at 213, and that's only after 2 weeks. This one is the most profitable and highest grossing of A24.
Yeah.
And it's a weird film, and no one knows much about it. And I even watched a couple of the YouTube things to see what it was on about. Still don't know anything about it. We're in an era where we're talking about trailers giving too much away, and it puts you off seeing them sometimes. This trailer gave things away, but it made no sense. So you still had to go and see it to connect the dots. So I think the mystery is what made it popular.
But even once you connect the dots, there is so many interesting kind of conversations around this film that people are talking about that I'll bring up in this next half an hour or whatnot.
Rage Whale.
In today's episode, Kev and Drew invite Jas from Church of Cinema to join us back on the episode. He is a previous guest, and we are going to discuss, in spoiler territory, you have been warned, the movies Scary Movie 6 and Backrooms. This is a fun conversation as we go deep into the comedy and the horror and the legacy of both of these interesting and very much debated films at the moment. So we hope you enjoy. This was great fun. Let's get started.
It's fine.
Perspectives on pictures, says Drew.
That is great.
Welcome back to Rage Whale. Today it's me, Kev. Our regular host with me is Drew, as always.
What's up?
My Garth to my Wayne. And we have a new guest that's an old guest. So we've got Jas back with us today. How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I was hoping you'd say, "Oh, here comes the fourth whale." Here he is, he's Jas.
You're the third right now.
Instead of third wheel, you're the third whale.
Yeah, you've been bumped up today. But today we're going to be chatting about, as we explained in previous episodes, but we're still getting into the new method of it. We're not really doing guests just for guests. We're doing guests to help us have a conversation about some recent films. And the two most recent films all three of us have watched in the last week has been Backrooms and Scary Movie. And both of them are hitting the discourse quite heavily. There's a lot of chat about them. And people are actually coming to the cinema for these films. That both screenings were busy, and I've not seen a busy screen in ages.
I could see heads. I could just see rows of heads. It was awesome.
Yeah, it is a negative, and I mean, it's positive for the film industry. I was speaking to Peter, our New Jersey correspondent, that I kind of preferred it when people didn't go to the cinema. It was just me in there.
Yeah,
just your own big screen. You're just selfish, man.
Fuck these extra people chatting.
No, I agree, because when we went to watch Backrooms last week, there were because I think it's half term at the time, and there's loads of kids out, and they were just the nuisance. Then I go back to when I was a kid. I was the exact same, just making random noises instead of just showing off in front of your friends, and it was just a bit we got really annoyed. It was like 20 minutes of it. We were like, we'll just leave. We'll leave it. I didn't want to confront them because it's just going to make them do it even more. So I just thought after 20 minutes, we moved seats to somewhere a bit more empty. The front two rows were the only ones that were empty. That's how packed it was. So
yeah. That's busy. It wasn't that bad mine. Like for Backrooms, it was, I'd say there was maybe like 20-ish people in there. And there was three younger boys, I don't know, teenager maybe, at the back corner, but like 4 rows behind us, 4 or 5 rows. And they were being dickheads all the way at the beginning on the trailers. Like there's a trailer and they make inappropriate comments about the woman on the screen or a joke about something, being really loud, obnoxious, like everyone could hear. Mm-hmm. So I was said to my mate, I'm going to go down and speak to the guys at the cinema. And just spoke to them, just said, there's some people at the back. It might be worth you coming into the screen early on just to check on them, because I think they're going to be, they might shut up. I might be wrong, but it's not looking good. And then a group of 4 people sat directly behind us afterwards, just before the film started. They were fine. They were chit-chatting, but normal, no big deal.
Yeah.
But the guys at the back were like doing like big loud burps, and the people behind us were finding it funny. And then they started burping, and then they were playing it back to each other, and then they were just being pricks. And I was like, I was getting really frustrated. I could feel my heart going. I was like getting so like riled up.
It's going to turn into the Hulk.
Yeah, the beginning of the film, we won't go into Backrooms. We're going to start with a scary movie, but there's a beginning sequence in Backrooms, and which is loud and stuff happens, and then it goes quiet. When I went to quiet back to the proper story, that's when they started making noise again.
Yeah,
and I lost it. I shouted out so the whole cinema could hear me. I just went, "Shut the fuck up!" And then I turned around to people behind me and went, "All of you."
That's it.
And I did not stop staring at them for a good 2 seconds. And that was it, dead silent. And then again at the very end, as soon as the credits came up, they ran out.
I got nervous just then, Jazz. Did you get
nervous?
I know,
yeah. I shit my
the people in front of me were like nodding. They were like, "Yeah, good one."
Fair play. They were giving him high fives, like silent ones.
But that's the irony. Like in Scary Movie, people were talking and laughing, and it was fine. It's certain films. You don't mind a bit of audience interaction to a degree if it's laughing or reactions, not just being pricks for the sake of it.
Yeah, I feel like cinemas need to have that. You know, like when you go to say, at festivals, when they come out at the front and start, like they introduce the show and they say you need that human touch. There's no point having them adverts at the front at the start that say, "Oh, turn your phones off" and everything like that. You need a human, like an actual human, to come out and be like, "Everyone, just enjoy the film, put your phones away, and no talking, whatever." Like in a subtle way, obviously. But I just feel like it doesn't. We need. I feel like when back in the day there were like security at cinemas, or am I just making that up, or was it just people that worked there?
Well, no, I swear people used to be in there. There used to be at least 2 ushers that would be watching, and they'd have torches, and they'd flash people with torches. And you'd be like, "Hey," and then they'd be like, "Shh," and then they carry on watching. But now, because it seems like they're so understaffed, the people that would normally be watching the film are probably filling up the popcorn machine, or like there's just not enough of them now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then what was weird was down at like the reception, there's like 4 of them hanging out on like the world's smallest little desk. And I'm like, what are you guys, like some of you could be in helping out, like if people are kicking off. Like,
well, what weird. I thought was good as well is like when I went to see the Billie Eilish film like a month or 2 ago, because there was a big repertoire online from America and Europe that got it a couple of days before we did, of all these teenagers running down the front and dancing and stuff. That the film started, and it started for 1 minute of the build up, and then they paused it, turned all the lights on, so it was a big shock. And a couple of staff members came in and went, "Welcome to the show. We really want you guys to enjoy this, but we really want you to sit in your seats, and you can sing along, but please don't be too loud, and don't have your phones or anything out. We're going to start the film again, but please be aware of everyone else in the audience." Yeah. And it was like, I expected it. I didn't mind it for that because it was like a concert, but I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you said the lights turned on and in walked Billie Eilish.
A little bit, yeah. Surprise.
No one would have been quiet then, yeah.
Surprise visit.
And did you see on the news, not the news, but the mobile phone news, that the police got called in America to a Scary Movie screening because people were being so obnoxious and the staff couldn't control them? They actually called the police.
Whoa.
And there was like 7 or 8 police officers standing at the bottom, and people were filming them.
Wow.
Just waiting there for people to be quiet. But the film got people really riled up.
Well, I said they're going to cross some lines, so...
Yeah. Was it a publicity stunt? Was it real?
That was real. There was no fucking about. It wasn't professionally done. It was, yeah.
No, but I mean, as in, like, was it because of what was, like, the controversy of the film? Or...
The filming of the police officer started when the lights were on and the police officer was standing at the front, just standing still. Okay. Staff were trying to control it, and the police were just overseeing it.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't get to see the whole picture, But yeah, maybe we should start there on Scary Movie, because I think
It's a
Jess
great,
has got
great
some,
segue.
I would say hot takes, but I think it's the general consensus. I think me and Drew might have the hot takes.
Lukewarm takes for Jazz, I think.
Okay, you ready for this? It's not really I just have a lot to say, but very few words.
Here's a platform for you, man. Go.
So,
Just a quick message to thank you all for listening to our show, whether it's through Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. If you are enjoying, why not follow, click to subscribe, and leave a 5-star review. Also, a reminder to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for fun clips from the show. We love and appreciate your support, and thanks for sharing us with friends. This helps us to grow, improve, and continue creating. Now, back to the conversation.
before this movie, when the movie was announced, Scary Movie's back, and I saw that the Waynes are involved, it brought me back. I was way too young to watch these films. I watched Scary Movie 1 and 2. And I remember growing up watching them on repeat. Like, they were just so stupid and funny. And like, in my immature mind, that is like, oh, this is the funniest thing in the world. And even I watched the second one not so long ago, and it still stands. It's still stupid, but it's funny, you know.
Is that with the hat and the mashed potato?
Just my James, that one. And they announced that the Waynes are back, because obviously they weren't involved with 3, 4, or 5, and then they're back. So I was like, okay, this is going to be back to the roots, and it's going to be back to being weird, like back to being like. There's a big, massive difference between 1 and 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. And I wanted that back, the 1 and 2. 3, 4, and 5 were still fun watches, but they weren't as great as the first 2. And then the promotion started of the film, and I don't know which Wayne, but he was saying, "Oh, it's going to be the most we're going to bring back the way before things were getting cancelled. We're gonna go over the what's it called cross the line, and get really messy with our jokes, and and then." At that point, I was like, okay, I'm hyped. I'm even more hyped because I want that. I want controversial humor. And then they go and release a list of films that they're going to parody. I was like, okay, that was a given. That was going to happen. But I feel like, come on, leave a bit for the imagination. And then it came to watching the movie. And I was, at this point, exhausted by their promotion of like, what am I expecting, whatnot. And from start to finish, I feel like it didn't really have a backbone of like a story. I know I'm not expecting like this. It's not a Citizen Kane. It's not going to be like the best film in the world, but I feel like it was just, let's throw loads of jokes in, and like they're all like.
That's kind of the point, though, and it was following the structure of Scream 6 and 7, and that's the thing. Everyone seems to have misplaced that, but
5 and 6.
But no, it was the plot of 7 as well. It brought her back, and that's what brought Sydney and Neve Campbell back in the real Scream films. The most recent Scream film was, because Jenna Ortega on that had gone. The most recent Scream film was the daughter going back and getting her mum involved, which was Neve Campbell. That was the reason to bring Neve Campbell back.
Well, maybe this is why the film is confusing the shit out of people, because it's too convoluted. It's 5, 6, and 7, because the young lad with like the bleach peroxide hair, that's 5.
Oh yeah, it's combining mode.
Tuesday, which is obviously a piss take of Wednesday, because Jenna Ortega is in 5.
And Tayana Taylor from number 6 walking down the alleyway at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like Samara Weaving. That's
scene. I feel like the film would have been more successful if this was released in 2025. I think that's where one of the biggest faults has happened.
There was a delay in some of the stuff.
Yeah, all of the things that they're releasing, like, whoa, check this out. It happened a
Yeah.
year ago.
They still did a
I
lot
think
of
that's it,
production very recently and slotted in jokes from literally a couple of months ago. You know, they've used Tiana Taylor from the Oscars, and they
Yeah,
talk about the Oscars.
that was awesome about, my pussy pop and all that stuff. But like, again, with the kind of one battle after another, I feel like if this came out in 2025 in December, it would have been a bigger hit.
I mean, it's technically a hit, but not many people are enjoying it because everyone went to the cinema, even though everyone was disappointed. Everyone still went, so it's still got it's the biggest box office this weekend.
It's become number one, which I love. They're like that. We're number one. Like,
I thought the build up was really good. I know what you mean. There's a lot of fatigue around it, but I liked all the posters from all the recent films. I thought those were really clever. And then little clips, and they weren't all in the film, and that's what was good because there was a couple of bits from the trailer that I didn't think were great, and they didn't include them all in the film. You know, the bit where the lady's like, she's like, help, he's like, bitch, I'm having my lunch. You know,
oh, that was genius.
It was really long in the trailer, and it was a bit crap in the trailer. And in the real film, they made it a bit shorter. It wasn't as long-winded because I don't think it hit with audiences. I think they realized.
Yeah. That was quite a funny moment.
They did at test screenings. They've taken a lot of things out, though, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, the Synod scene they didn't do. The guys came to the door, but they didn't put the vampire teeth in like in the trailer. Yeah. They just did their little dance and then walked off.
I didn't see the teeth in the trailer.
That's what I said. In the trailer, they put teeth in.
I didn't see the teeth in the trailer.
Vampires. Because remember the bit when they go, we want to do some half gay shit, and the guy goes, why just half gay? And then they put the teeth in. And then the big guy that's trying not to be gay pushes Brenda in front and goes, have her first. And then they're like, oh, just kidding. It's not real teeth. And he goes, I'll protect you. That wasn't in the film. That was only in the trailer.
I didn't see that in the trailer at all.
I've never seen that. That's a different trailer, bro.
I just saw
I've seen that trailer like 20 times.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. I haven't seen that trailer. I've only seen the one where we go, we're going to do some half gay shit or whatever. That's the only one I saw.
Yeah, it was longer in the trailer. But anyway, there was lots of bits and bobs, but I liked the fact it was kind of mixed up. But this film is never going to please many people.
I think
and even the people that liked it, it's only going to be like I'd be 3 stars at a push.
Yeah,
because I still enjoyed it.
I think what I got from it in my own mind was that the audience they were going for is now older and more mature to a degree. Because like we were saying, I think like 20 odd years ago, like stupid dick jokes and masturbation and all kinds of weird kind of quirky kind of immature jokes were all the rage, right? And it was kind of like, oh, haha, another dick joke and blah, blah, blah. And it had that kind of jackass kind of feel. Whereas I think now, because we're more mature and maybe we prefer kind of a bit more intelligent comedy in an interesting way, that for me, it actually felt quite like try hard. Like a lot of the stuff, like I laughed in quite a few moments, and me and the people in the cinema, there was lots of big laughing moments, all like, oh, I can't believe they did that, which was great and fun.
Yeah.
But it did feel like the scenes are like trying to land, didn't work, trying to land, next scene. It really...
They made the point, they were talking about it, going, it's so hard to write a parody film. It's probably the hardest thing they've ever done because they've got to appease everyone and know that they can't. So they know for every 20 jokes in probably 2 minutes, 1 or 2 will land. And they're prepared for that ratio because it's impossible. It's like the airplane in Naked Gun, although they're perfect. These are not. Scary Movie is not. But they do repeat a lot of jokes from the early stuff. But I think me and Drew are perfect audience. Jazz, maybe not, even though you liked it when you were a kid. You were a kid. So that's why I was trying to ask your age before. Like, you would not have seen it in the cinema. You would have not even seen it when it came out. You were 8 when it came out.
Yeah,
it would have been on VHS till you were probably 10, maybe 11.
Yeah.
Whereas we would have seen it in the cinema or straight away when we're 18, 19, just after things like American Pie came out. And that sort of raunchy, like silly comedy was perfect. So it hit our perfect zeitgeist. So when we're this age, I agree with what Drew said, is that we're mature now, so it's not our vibe anymore. But we can regress for those 2 hours and remember. It's like watching Jackass. Jackass is silly.
Nostalgia,
I'm looking forward to Jackass this year
You see?
more than The Odyssey. It's going to be better than The Odyssey for me. I'm going to be cracking up all the way through.
But it's because you feel like you know them.
One film of the year already. 100%.
You feel like with Jackass, you feel like you know them. It's like the weird family you haven't seen for a while, and they're coming back to town. You're like, man, I've got to hook up with my bros. You know, it's like, but yeah, I feel like I think Scream. Actually, that was what I was going to say. Sorry. The reason why I think Scary Movie was really successful as well was when Scream came out, it was such a game changer for the kind of horror franchise. And the fact that the Wayne brothers were able to flip it, but like add elements of like the Matrix, and it kind of ticked so many clever boxes from a kind of production standpoint. And you go like, oh, that's it was like the best. It was like an album with the best tracks all laid out together. Yeah. And now it does feel dated. It feels like they're trying to make it nostalgic, but at the same time, they're trying to make it so kind of woke, but anti-woke in a weird way. Like there's this kind of duality of how it's trying to say, this is everything that's happening now in the world that's so mental, but you're all dicks for doing it. And you're like, whoa, hang on. Because one of the moments that made me laugh the hardest actually was when they're doing like, well, it's actually kind of what we're doing, ironic. Like they're doing a podcast and it's live, and all of they're streaming, and they're like going, "We're making loads of money for doing fuck all," or whatever it is, and like they're like, "Oh, let's hit each other over the head with stupid shit." And it is the idea that when you look at it and go, actually, that's mental to think. Actually, some people are making a living potentially doing random shit in front of a camera, so they're kind of taking the mick out of how people make a living through really random obscurity. But then also they're really going in with the kind of the race card, which I think was actually quite funny. Like that, the kind of long legs, even though it's called short hand or short arm, that was a really darkly kind of comic sketch, but it paints America so well when they go, oh, the guy on the bus stop, we're gonna nail him. This is the guy.
Yeah,
and then
they go like, he looks like the guy. He looks so creepy. And they just attack the black guy.
Yeah, and then they attack the black guy and start doing obscene things to him. And it's like, this is so...
And then, but the irony is that the extra funny thing is that the cop is a black cop, and he's looking at the picture of the white creep and looking over at the guy that... The guy from Schitt's Creek. He's from Schitt's Creek and Something About Mary. And he's there dressed up as Nicolas Cage and as long legs. He looks weird. And he's looking at the photo and goes, well, the black guy probably did something. And he's black himself. He goes, well, the black guy did something. You know, and he's like, hit him with the truncheon.
He's trying to just justify it to him. But it's, It's
like, we might as well take him anyway. He's probably done something.
And, I mean, some of the moments that made me laugh was the stuff scene was genius, though. The substance, like they went there. That when the Epstein files came out of her back and landed, you were like, whoa, they were going.
So what do you guys think of that then? So not just that bit, that yes, it was stupid. Yes, it was silly. Yes, there was loads of crap in there. But they highlighted a couple of like really serious points because like people would have washed over because it probably wasn't that funny. But there were, what was it like? When Tuesday is like, oh my God, I got stabbed. And she's like, chill out, Tuesday. No one gets an Oscar for with horror. Just ask Demi Moore, and then move on. Because Demi Moore should have got the Oscar that time, and she got beat by Enola, wasn't it?
Enora,
which was great.
Enora,
but did you also realize how ironic that was that she got beaten by almost a younger version of her?
Yeah, exactly. And then they bring up later, what was it? There was someone else that say to Tiana Taylor as well, saying how like tough she is. She goes, well, you didn't win the Oscar, did you? And she goes, well, I got a Golden Globe, and beats her to death with it.
That was genius.
But the other thing as well, like what Jas was saying as well, I thought was really interesting, Jas, because I don't remember that. The film reminded me that it was the Wayans brothers that did 1 and 2, and then they got kicked out of their own
and then
ownership, and 3, 4, and 5 got made.
Yeah,
but the actors still came back, and I think there was bad blood at the time. I don't think they were happy about it. Like, what was it? Anna Faris
and Regina Hall.
Yeah, they both came for 3, 4, and 5, but the Wayans brothers weren't involved. and they make a joke about that because that's why they're the killers. Because they're
That-
like, well, you didn't come, you
Yeah.
dissed us by coming back. He's like, we didn't know, no one told us.
Yeah, that was a mic drop moment because they were saying this is actually the best ghost face reveal, better than all the screams, to be fair, because at least the plot is so well baked into the DNA of why they're doing it. It was genius.
Yeah, there was an
Absolute
actual
genius.
reason for it. It wasn't just some bullshit, oh, the boyfriend did it, and that was the end of it. There was a reason, there was a fourth wall break reason why
But there was
they did it.
there was twist upon twist upon twist upon twist, which I thought
Well,
also was almost a
they killed
joke.
12 ghost phases, didn't they? And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
there was
but
still
the
4 or
John-
5 left.
The John Wick, the biggest laugh, one of the biggest laughs was like, I was going to say ballerina, but nobody saw that shit. And it was like, oh, it
Ballerina
was,
was amazing. I'll stand by
ballerina
that
was
film.
amazing, to be fair.
Yeah,
And Anna
but I don't think
Diarra-
anyone knew what she meant if she said ballerina. She had to say the one John Wick to understand
Yeah.
the concept.
Yeah. But again, I thought that was a cool little kind of like nuance, a hark back to number one with The Matrix. Because again, it's Keanu Reeves, but it's John Wick. I thought it was very clever.
Yeah.
And then she goes back to brunette, doesn't she? She takes the blonde wig off.
Yeah. She's bad.
I mean, Jess,
She's so good.
what was the bit you enjoyed? Like, I know you didn't enjoy the film overall, but what was the bit you went, fair enough, that was good?
Okay, there was
Or
a few
did Max
funny
laugh
things.
at?
There's a P Diddy white party joke in there. I think anything like that was a bit funny. And then when he says, when she just randomly says, I personally think Kendrick beat Drake, or the other way around, and it was like in that little rap battle. And I thought them little jokes were like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't laugh, but I smirked a lot. If that,
Okay, yeah.
that's something, right?
Yeah.
I was entertained in some aspects, but I was like, yeah, it was a bit exhausting for me because there were. I don't want to go back to the negatives, but like you said earlier,
Well, you did give it 1 star, so I mean,
yeah. You hit the nail on its head earlier when he said that we've matured as what kind of humor we want in life, but I was wanting that, but I think you reminded me that's exactly what I want. I want a bit more like mature jokes. Do you know what I mean?
Intellectual
immature, but with a bit more clever,
clever.
a bit more clever, hint of clever to it. And then, for example, like you can tell there's a few jokes that they threw in there that they were like, we haven't made a scary movie in a long time, so let's get some old jokes in that people like. Evidently, I didn't find as funny I would have a few years ago, like the they them jokes. It was funny a few years ago, but now it's like everyone's done it. It's not. I'm not saying it. I
That
don't
was
want to
the
be that.
boundary where I thought they were trying to be edgy and it didn't work.
Yeah.
It was like,
It went a bit too far though when all the different members of the on the train carriage started doing like stabbing her.
Then I started to go back. My mind went back to the immature days. I was like, okay, that's pretty stupid, and
Right.
I smirked.
yeah, but it was a bit violent for the rhetoric in the sense that it was stabbing a woman who was like, why, how dare you, accuse me of being a she, I'm a they, them. And the woman said something like, oh my God, seriously. And she went, oh, you're such a Karen. He goes, well, my name is Karen. And then start stabbing her. The bloke says something and she's like, oh, well, you're, what is it, misogynist or whatever, thanks for mansplaining. So he kills her. And it's just
jammed in every word that has changed meaning in the last few years.
Did you end up the queue? People were joining the queue to stab her because they all had their reasons. Like it was like, oh God.
Yeah. Did you like the beginning bit where it was Final Destination? You're like, when you get on the ride, you never get off, and then they're just chatting, and in the background, the roller coasters were smashing, people were dying.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that was the part where I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun because I wasn't personally a fan of the first intro with Tiana Taylor in it. I was like, what's going on there? It was really forced, but then as soon as it came to that bit, because it did, I swear that's in the first film at least. I think there was something similar to that where they're having a conversation. There's a lot of things happening in the background. I swear there is in one of the scary movies. There is, and that I like that aspect. It brought that nostalgic feeling to my soul, but then it just went like the roller coaster just went down.
Did you see the clever link though? Was the the lady serving Tiana is the girl that was in the first intro of Scary Movie
Carmen
1.
Electra.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I
I
think I
thought
remember.
that's
Yes.
when I was talking about intelligent comedy, because I thought that's clever because it's a nod to the first one. Because
There
she
were lots
says,
of handovers, wasn't
yeah,
there?
and she said, "Bitch, I'm only in the first scene." And she went, "Yeah, I know." And it's like she's hinting at, "So was I. I was in the intro
Okay,
too."
yeah.
And now I'm working in a fucking bar. And it's like, it was a really kind of clever little.
They missed out by not having Thingy from American Pie in it, because she's quite big at the moment. You know, the main girl from American Pie who was in Scary Movie. She was in the first one.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's made a hit recently
Which
because
one?
she's gone on
Is it-
OnlyFans and stuff like that.
Oh,
And literally
one?
about a couple of weeks ago, and
What's
she's
the
made
link?
more in 1 week than she did from all her films.
Whoa. Okay.
shit.
So
Okay.
she's hit the news like literally in the last few weeks.
God dang.
So
How
we
much
should
is
have
it?
got her in.
How much is it?
One of
I don't think she's doing anything explicit. I think it's just
memorabilia.
normal. Yeah,
It's
I don't
probably
know.
American. It's probably American Pie stuff.
Is she doing like cooking show or something?
I have no idea.
This is
She
my
didn't,
apple
she didn't
pie.
exactly tell the person that was interviewing her. Exactly.
What do you want me to do with this apple pie? One bit I thought was really funny though was the dad of the boy or slash girl that's got the blonde hair,
Yeah.
hair.
The tiny penis man.
Yeah, the tiny penis guy. That
was funny. But he looked at the post-it note. That was
for
the best.
me. Yeah, I laughed at the bit with the post-it note and goes, "I still remember," or whatever it was. But what was funny was when Ghostface attacks him and chops it off, and that's how he kills him. And he goes, "Looking for something?" And then he pulls out a magnifying glass. Like, me and everyone in the cinema laughed because it's the idea that it's so small. He's like, "You're still looking for something?" It was so funny.
Yeah, there was a younger audience in the cinema for me, and they were cracking up a lot.
Yeah.
So maybe it is working for the younger generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because they can let their hair down and really, it's like the new version of this generation is like you were saying, Kev, is like us 20 odd years ago of going, oh, you can just sit back and make fun and laugh. Because also, like the Wayne brothers said, there is so much going on in the world right now that we could do with a laugh. The idea that you don't have to take it seriously, that you can just laugh and go, oh my God, I can't believe they said that, or they're doing this, or that's just happened.
And I know it's a bit over the top at times, but it does give license for people just to like take the piss out of things and they shouldn't be allowed to, and then walk out and forget about it, hopefully. But the scene that I went with my mate Ryan, and the bit we laughed at the most, I'm still not 100% sure if I was laughing at the bit or I was laughing at Ryan crying. I wasn't sure because the bit where it's Ghostface versus Officer Doofy.
Oh yeah.
And again, they repeat the jokes of the finger and stuff like that. All that they did in the first film.
Yeah.
What's that?
My ass.
And she's like trying to seduce him by licking his finger, and she's like, ugh.
I don't do that anymore. I do hand jobs if it's good information.
Yeah, and she's like, he just shoves her. Okay, let's do that. But when he's with Ghostface, and Ghostface actually kills him, stabs him in the stomach, and goes, "Any last words?" And he goes, "I just went poopy," as he fell backwards. We were crying. Ryan couldn't control himself for, I'd say, 3 minutes. He was laughing, vibrating, crying, and I was crying at him, laughing, wiping my tears away. I must have missed like 5 minutes of jokes because I just couldn't focus. It was the most immature joke out the entire film, probably.
Yeah.
It was the one. It was just so silly enough that it caught me off guard.
That was the Scream 5 moment, though. Ironically, in Scream 5, that is one of the most heartbreaking moments of the Scream franchise when his character gets taken out.
Spoiler. Yeah.
But in this, it was that they made it so funny. When he goes, you got to shoot them in the head, and all he's got is these like little sticky darts. It's like, oh, dude.
Has anyone watched the latest Scream movie, and have they added anything in Scary Movie of that film?
I mean, Kev seems to think there is elements of 7 because of the daughter.
I thought it was the whole plot. It was, and the daughter in the Scary Movie. How good was she at being young Anna Faris?
Oh,
the way she spoke. It was all the mannerisms of Anna Faris. Like, it was so good. That was the whole plot of the.
Yeah.
I guess maybe 5 and 7 are the similar.
But it was 5, 6, and 7, and I think that's why it's so wishy-washy. all three films.
I haven't seen the seventh Scream, and I refuse to. Well, I'm not paying, but yeah,
right.
maybe piracy.
One bit, talking of crazy moments, was the K-pop demons bit. Took me by surprise.
Oh yeah, okay, that amused me.
But mate, the animation was like Spider-Verse stuff. I was like, oh, the reason why, like, when I came out of that film, I went, budget. Like, they took the production of this. Ironically, they took the production of this seriously, but not the comedy. So
it's like every successful film. It's all about the marketing. Obsession could be a terrible film, but because it's got some wind behind it and people are talking about it, it's become huge. And people might not like the film. I mean, it is great, but
it's fucking amazing though.
The marketing was so simple that it's brought people in, and the marketing for this was on peak.
But on point. Do you know what was really funny though was, you know, when I was going to create that little skit saying horror-y movie, the way the film starts, once it does the thing, it goes it says something like horror movie instead of like scary movie. And that was
movies. The joke, isn't it? Like in Scream, they're talking about
Stab, wasn't it? Yeah, Stab.
Scary movie. They're talking about horror.
Yeah. But do you remember when I was going to do that skit with you and say, why don't they call it horror-y movie instead of scary movie? And you went, well, no, that's shite. But they actually put horror movie on the thing, and I went, what? That's fucking mental.
That's not the first time they've done that, right? Or it is the first time they've done that.
The first time they did that, but that's just a weird like in joke for Kev and I. It won't make sense to anyone unless we release our skit.
Anna Faris has not been in a film for ages, and did you see before the film there was a trailer for her in a new film?
Oh shit! Yeah, Spa Day looks amazing.
That looks
is it actual horror or comedy?
No. It's
a comedy, like Bridesmaids.
Oh I did see that.
It's the Hangover team, but with women, which I think is fucking genius.
Also, 11 members of the Wayans brothers were in that film. That the woman that says "I'm on my break," she was a Wayans. One of the kids was a Wayans. The cop that said "attack the black man," he was a Wayans. Everyone was Wayans.
I think everyone had a contribution to certain things. I think the music by one of the Wayans. There's I think a lot of them wrote it, and I think I forgot. Yeah, I don't know which one's which, as in who wrote what, but
it's a full like family affair. Like it's a proper like dynasty that's kind of controlling it, which is good. And that because that ending was, I still think back to that ending because that was
genius.
I loved it when what's his name, Anthony? What's his name? Lifted his mask off, the first bad guy.
Yeah. He's the guy from The Departed. He's amazing.
Yeah, and he goes, and we brought Kevin Hart. And I was like, oh shit, they got Kevin Hart.
So excited. I really wanted... When it was Shaq and he went, I'm the size of Kevin Hart on my knees. Like that, I laughed so hard on that bit.
Yeah. But that's again, they're attacking that guy and they're like having to go at him for real life Wayans stuff that they did. And it's like, you copied us on this. It's like, no one saw your program. It was only on HBO. No one watched HBO.
Crazy.
He's like, I don't know. It's like they're like, who have we got grievances with? We're going to invite them on and kill them.
I feel like there are a lot of celebrities now are in the comedy scene are starting to squash beef. Because I think Kevin Hart and Cat Williams squashed beef on his roast of
roast,
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's maturing in a way to know that the industry it's a dog eat dog industry. Just let it be and just move on with life.
Let bygones be bygones.
Yeah,
definitely. I think everyone's getting to that age as well because it's kind of people older of our generation where they're like, oh, who gives a shit, you know?
Guys, we got to talk about the moment that, again, is another hint to Sinners, which I didn't realize until I listened to playback. You know, in Sinners, when the young lad talks to one of the brothers and goes, how do I make a woman feel special? He's like,
shit, yeah. I didn't realize either.
Down on her, but he's using it as an analogy for making a roach, for making a doobie or whatever, right? A spliff. But then what I thought was so funny and obviously ridiculously comic because she's sex positive, that she's been around the block, so to speak, he was able to wrap her parts into make it into.
That
Do you know
was
what I mean?
disgusting.
And then,
I think it's called a labia.
oh yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, he was able to wrap that labia.
I mean, if you want to be specific, it was labia majora.
And then when he tried to and then when he tried to light the end of it, because he's so in the moment, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "You gotta light it," or whatever it was. And she's like,
"Yeah." It was silly, then went extreme.
It was so ridiculous.
Everyone got on board. Like even like Jordan Peele, he gave the approval for him to do the Get Out sequence into the K-pop sequence.
Yeah,
and Marlon Wayans, because he was in Him, the film Him that he wrote. So I'm sure they came to an agreement then. So all these parodies, they've got approval from it, because like even the Michael Jackson thing, it was 2 days after the Michael Jackson trailer got released is when they did the poster.
They called it Jermaine.
Yeah. I loved that because I thought it was a Michael Jackson piss tape, but when it said Jermaine, I thought even better because it's shit Michael Jackson.
Yeah. But the going back to the Get Out was genius when he's there and he's smoking the doobie, and then the guy runs towards him and does the cool sideways, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then his like brother runs up and goes, "Hey, come back with my clothes, man. I'm gonna get you."
Yeah. He's still one of the funniest bits of the film.
He's brilliant.
It's less the big pieces, the big comedy sets, because they're all quite try hard and forced, and sometimes don't land. It's the throwaway comments that are the funny bits.
Yeah,
when you're moving from one scene to another, and someone just says something silly, it's like that's the good bit.
I feel like I've laughed more at us talking about it than I did at the actual film.
Watch this episode. It's better than a scary movie.
I mean, that's the good thing, is that because some scenes are so shit, you can laugh at them afterwards, even though they weren't funny at the time. But like 4 people left our screening during the film. 2 people at the back were absolute dickheads. There's like a couple who were clearly intoxicated before they arrived. I saw them when I came and was like, hope they're not in our screening. And they were. And they're just chatting really loudly. But you didn't hear them most of the time because the film's loud. And every now and again you heard, and I was like, fucking dicks. After half an hour, they walked out. Well, she walked out and he walked out 10 minutes after because they're so wasted.
The smile moments I found really funny when she's like, "Stop smiling." And he goes, "I can't, it's Botox." And it's the idea that like everyone's kind of doing it. And I thought it was actually quite clever with the kind of Monica character. You know, when she goes, "I was going to say that you look like the lady from Friends, but like you've had a lot more work done." And then when it jumps to the stuff scene and he does the lips first and the music kicks in, and it's like that.
He's dancing around. That's cool.
That felt very on point though, sadly, because too many people are getting filler. Like, as in they feel like their lips aren't enough. Do you know what I mean?
But wasn't it the funny thing with Doofy when he goes, "Doesn't look like you've aged 10 years. Looks like you've aged 1 million years." He's like, You think it's a compliment, but it's not. But in the substance scene, that's the big bit when she wipes the mirror. Who appears?
Yeah, white chicks.
Okay, that was. I was hoping. I'm actually hoping that they do white chicks too.
They will. They've said they will if this is successful.
I think I could sell them my idea. How about this is going to be really controversial, but it's like they do white chicks, right? They do white chicks, but they're actually trying to, what the whole plot is they're trying to take the piss out of white people doing blackface. So they do white chicks and then make them do blackface.
So white chicks blacken up, but it's black.
Wow.
Blacken up.
And it's just, oh my God, that'll be the greatest thing ever. That is the controversy I am looking out for. Like something that just pushes the boundaries. Because there's never going to be a Tropic Thunder 2. We are now relying on the Wayans to get crazy.
Talking of getting crazy, did you guys stay for the end credits?
Yeah, of course. There's 2 end credits.
Bros Ferratu. I was like, I'm in.
What?
I want Bros Ferratu.
How quickly did you leave, Jas? It was like,
As soon as the credits were rolling, I was like, let's go home.
30 seconds in, there was a Nosferatu trailer, but it was like...
He's got a massive hard-on in the shadow.
Yeah, the curtain flopped where you see the shadow in there, but it was just a massive penis.
Instead of a hand, it's a massive hard on.
And
Fuck.
and then at the end,
No.
and you missed the other bit, which was even better, I thought. At the
Which
very
is the
end, it was
long
the
legs.
long legs. So it
Short
was
hair.
actually them interviewing the long legs character in the cell.
And he keeps doing the headbutt. And he's like, ow, oh, guys, actually, I don't quite know. Oh, it's so funny. And then when he says, how do we escape? And he's like, just keep walking backwards, like what happened when I caught my wife with another guy. Just, no,
Like,
my cousin or
she's
something.
and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's okay, we're a throuple now." And closed the door. That was the ending.
Yeah.
I think one thing I feel like what worked well in one and two, especially the second one, because I feel like a strong hand guy, I keep forgetting his name, the character's name. I feel like a lot of his stuff were improvised, or maybe they were so rushing this film that much that I didn't feel like anything was like everything felt written and forced. Do you get what I mean? I feel like there's certain moments in Scary Movie 2 where, like, make room for Fanny. Fanny's coming through. Like, that is so stupid. No one can write that. That's definitely something he made up at the start.
Yeah.
It has to be. Correct me if I'm wrong. If the Wayans are watching, tell me if it's true.
No, I agree, though. I feel like when actors are left to their own devices, especially in comedy, and they're able to add some improvisation, it elevates it and takes it to a whole other level. But that's why I feel like he was added in the kind of end credits because it gave him a little bit more screen time. But I really wonder what they did with the edit because a lot of stuff was, I think it felt overly rehearsed as well. Like it felt so on the nose that it doesn't allow for the laugh in a weird way. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I agree, and I think some of the stuff that is forced, it wore you down later on. Like the first half an hour, I smiled a lot, but nothing.
The third act is easily the best, right? The
ending is the best bit, yeah. But like when they, because obviously like it's Marlon Wayans playing Shorty and him doing his, oh shit, son. That stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's really boring at the beginning, but when he does it for the 15th time, it's funny.
Yeah, it is brilliant. Yeah, but the bit where I was about to say smoke face. The bit where Ghostface cuts that guy's head off accidentally, he's like, yeah, because he's so high. And then the bit where they're playing on the game and he's got it upside down.
Yeah, that bit was quite good.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was
Again,
great.
it's just crap jokes, but if it hits you the right way, you get lucky. But
ridiculous.
And it's Sean Waynes who plays Ray, who's the guy who's in the sinners' church saying that he's not gay anymore. He's been converted, and
that was funny.
He keeps saying, and again, it was a bit forced for about a minute. It was like, how long is this going to go on?
Monologue
for?
felt, and
then it got funny because it was so long and uncomfortable. Like the first bits was like forced, trying to pretend he's not gay when saying gay stuff, and then it went funny eventually.
I think it went funnier as soon as the camera went to Regina because Regina Hall's like facial expressions and the way that she interacts. She had some of the best moments, man. You know, when they're handing out the
Jello shots.
One of my favorite scenes was with the gun, actually. When she's that, and that's the link to Mama. You know
Ma.
Ma. Yeah. And when she's like, this gun isn't even loaded. Like, and she just shoots that kid, and then they just bury them randomly. They just bury them.
A random extra.
Yeah, we've never seen that kid before. He just walks in with Jello shot. She kills him. She's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
It's happened again.
In the gravestone, it says some random white American kid.
Yeah.
Wow. But, that was...
no,
it was good fun. I was entertained. And I'll be honest, I think when that comes out on TV, I will watch it again. Like, it's not like I'm not like offended in the sense like I never want to see that film again. I would enjoy watching it again. It's just not as funny as I feel like it could have been.
I don't think I'll watch it again. I think I'm done with that. I've not seen the other one multiple times. I think it was good.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Unless they bring out scenes that we've not seen, because I guarantee there's like 20 scenes that they could release on YouTube, which would be good.
I'll watch that.
Or the cut version, the uncut cut.
And sometimes they're better because they're short jokes for an hour and the film was 96 minutes. That's not long. That's a short film.
It felt longer. That's weird.
It's the longest scary movie they've ever done because they're all about 1 hour 20.
Yeah.
And this felt long because
Yeah.
it's short jokes over a long period of time, so you get fatigued with it.
Yeah,
So
I thought it was 2 hours, man. But maybe there's not.
no, really, it's really short, but it did feel long, didn't it?
Yeah.
But if you watch Naked Gun, the new Naked Gun with Nick thingy
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson, that I thought that was a better slapstick parody.
I really want to see that. I've heard. Really
I haven't seen it either. Yeah, I need to
I
watch
haven't
that.
seen it.
Almost every joke is nailed. It's not as fast. It's fast, but there's a proper plot, and a lot of the jokes are not real jokes. It's the behind the scenes stuff. Like Jas, you were saying the roller coasters in the background crash, and you're like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah,
Naked Gun's a lot of that. It's like a serious conversation, but in the background there's some silly stuff.
Mm.
It's not part of the actual narrative, and that's what's quite clever about it.
Well, one of the reviews that I read for, and I think it's quite apt actually, after watching Scary Movie now, the final one, was that people say it just feels like an hour and a half of SNL sketches, really. And I think that's why, it's a sketch show as opposed to
unrehearsed sketch show.
over-rehearsed, maybe. But yeah.
A mixture of both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've spoken far too long about Scary Movie because it must have been good enough for us to chat about or complain about. Should we have a brief 20-ish minutes chat about Backrooms?
I feel like Backrooms deserves more than at least.
Well, 20 minutes, half an hour, as long as you guys are happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go on until you guys want to go.
We just don't want to make these episodes too long, but I think Scary Movie was
3.5
fun. It was fun, man.
Yeah, it was entertaining. Like I wasn't looking at I wasn't clock watching. Do you know what I mean?
No, I was watching the people in front of me laughing and snorting and almost suffocating a couple of times.
Yeah,
like drinking and snorting.
Yeah,
but they were laughing at the crap jokes. They were the young people laughing at like Shorty going, son. They were like,
yeah, but to be fair, funny. That might be the first time. Don't forget, because we know those jokes. But if it's the first time you're hearing it might be quite funny.
It wasn't even a joke. It's just people's weird mannerisms. They were laughing at the bits. They're like, this isn't funny.
It's not meant to be funny. Yeah.
And then an actual funny bit happened, and everyone else was silent. It's just me and Ryan cracking up. You're like,
it's almost like Arthur Fleck when he laughs at the wrong things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Why are you not laughing at the poo jokes? This is a poo joke film. Laugh at the poo.
Yeah.
Laugh at the poo.
Does anyone know like what the deal is with Regina Hall? Like, I feel like, did you watch the Kevin Hart roast of Kevin Hart?
No.
On Netflix? So basically, no one was like, because they usually take the mick out of every single person there.
Yeah.
And when it came to Regina Hall, no one said anything, and they just literally one of them even said, "Oh, we ain't gonna even mess with you," and then moved on to the next person. So I'm a bit confused. Like, what?
Maybe she's got a lawsuit on someone or something like
that. Yeah, but I can't imagine they do.
Why would she do that? Maybe it's because she's actually funny. She's not a comedian, but she's a comedy actor, and she's lovely. She's not in the game of attacking people. All the comedians are fair game because that's what they do. Where she's an actor, maybe they. I don't know.
But guys, as well, she's like a double threat though, because when you see her in One Battle After Another, she's not doing comedy. She is a fucking great actor. So I actually want to see her in more stuff beyond comedy. We know how good she is as a comedian, but let's give her more opportunities in dramas and stuff because she fucking delivers, man. She's amazing.
Oh, I've got the answer. I've just Googled it while you were saying that. Comedians largely avoided roasting Regina Hall at the Netflix roast of Kevin Hart because she was added to the lineup at the last minute, leaving writers with no time to prepare material. Additionally, as one of Kevin Hart's closest, well-respected industry friends, the roasters opted to give her a pass and focus on their heavily critiqued jokes rather than other targets. And the irony is, did you look at who the writers were? There was 3 main writers, and they're all like really. They look like. If you said people that play Dungeons and Dragons in basements in their 40s, they look like them. And 3 white guys wrote a majority black attacking jokes.
That feels so wrong on so many levels.
There was so many messed up jokes.
Horrendous. But when you find out 3 white guys wrote most of those.
Yeah.
makes me cringe a bit.
They were a bit like messed up. But I like that kind of controversial humor. But now knowing that a white person wrote them makes me feel a bit like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it makes you feel uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Dirty.
Yeah.
I feel like I need a shower now.
But as well, some of the jokes were serious as well, because like it had forget the guy. There's a guy who's gay, and he's made jokes about what's the woman.
Tony Hinchcliffe. It's Tony Hinchcliffe. He's joked about everything. Is that who you're talking about?
And he's a bit of a prick, isn't he, or something as well?
I feel like he's definitely a prick, but I feel like his the world hates him because he's a Trump supporter mainly.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, that's enough. That'll do it.
But you should check out Kill Tony. He has his own show. It's pretty fun to watch.
Just on that note of Trump, did you see when Indy Navarrete went on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and she handed him one of the One Wish Willow, and he snaps it, and he's like, "Is he still president?" And it like got the biggest laugh. Like it was.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Do you know about that, Kev?
Is he still present? Oh, president.
President. Yeah. So you know what? Like he does it live.
Killed him off.
That's good. Imagine if he died, because he could drop any day.
You wonder what he wished for, though. You wonder what he wished for.
Chelsea Handler is the person I'm on about, because Chelsea Handler actually hates that Hinchcliffe guy, and she's gone on chat shows afterwards saying he is a genuine racist and I hate him. My jokes were not jokes; they were attacks.
Okay.
Like, I fucking hate that guy.
Fair.
So, and he was really aggressive towards her. So,
but I think he's really aggressive in general when it comes to his these roasts. Because did you watch he did one on what's his name? That American football player, what's his name? Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Yeah.
They did a roast on him, and he came into the crowd, and he was like roast after roast. As a comedian, I think he's pretty funny, but I know it's one of them. We don't know who he truly is until.
Yeah, if there's none of those jokes, like some person can be a bad person, but on their comedy show, if they do some good jokes, they've got some good jokes. Brilliant, well done. Yeah. And he does have some stuff. I've seen some stuff on that show you mentioned. He's done a few funny bits, but when he doubles down on bad stuff,
I guess, yeah.
But anyway, let's talk Backrooms, guys.
Backrooms.
Can
we add some of that creepy music to this little section when you do the editing? Because that'll be nice.
Oh, there'll be a sting. There'll be a sting there.
Can I just say that Kane Parsons' actual music, because he created the soundscape with.
He did pretty much everything, man. I was going to start with a bit of movie news, box office, before we talk about it.
Yeah, go, jump in.
So the two big headlines we all know, we've all heard it. The rhetoric's so much that we're probably a bit fatigued ourselves, but it's still so important. The Obsession is now, as of today, when this goes out a week later, definitely will be higher, obviously, because Obsession should have been in and out of the cinema in a week. Most of these small films are in and out.
2 weeks or so, yeah.
Yeah, it's been, 6 weeks, 7 weeks now? It's been there for a long time. And Obsession has now got to 225 million, which is the biggest the A24 has ever done, bigger than everywhere all at once and stuff like that. It's the biggest amount of profit any film has made. Not, I take that back. Not A24. Getting them confused. Yeah. Focus. Yeah. It's the biggest film profit ever.
Yeah.
Not recent. Not this year. Not of horror. Ever. And that's absolutely mental.
I was about to say focus, Kev, but then it would sound like I'm telling you to focus. But it was, yeah.
It's more than Blair Witch, more than Paranormal Activity, just from the amount they spent on it. The amount is gross. You know,
they've absolutely killed it, man. They've
paid 225 million, and that's pretty much 100% profit, 99% profit.
Have you heard this other thing about, I can't remember the name of the art designer, though, that was, she's not like kicking up a fuss, but I think it's a fascinating conversation to have, because when you look at like the sales industry or even in retail, like even like kind of the jobs we do, Kev, like the idea that you sell something, but then a company makes a bonus, and do you see part of that bonus when you're making so much for said? I think it's a really interesting.
It's a strange one because I agree and I don't agree, and I don't know where it stands because she's saying she didn't just do art design. She ran around, she did stuff. She didn't sleep for a week. She had loads of stuff.
Yeah, she made about $7,000 though on a film that's made about 200.
But I also feel like independent film is like that, and no one knew this was going to make this amount of money. I don't think even no one predicted this would do.
There should be a bonus, 100%.
I agree.
But think about it. If you think about it logically, not about humans and what is the right thing to do. If you think about it purely as a business, they got given, they raised $750,000. That's a great job. They paid their staff well. $7,000 for an independent movie for what, a month's work, less than a month's work. It was 4 weeks' work. She got $7,000. Yeah, it was hard work. I'd do that for $7,000 tomorrow. You kidding me? That's amazing pay. But anyway, Focus bought it for $15 million. That's what the crew should be sharing between themselves. And then Focus has technically made that 210 because it's their promotion, their money investing in it, in the promotion of it, that's managed to get it to there. So yeah, they made a great film, but if it wasn't for Focus putting the money and effort into the marketing stuff,
100%,
would have it's got as big. I mean, it's built some momentum with everyone loving indie and her doing stuff.
I think one of the biggest parts that they're saying is it's the biggest success of word of mouth. They're saying they've never seen a film based on word of mouth that has kind of absolutely elevated the box office.
Yeah.
Because
after a certain amount, they should 1 million, split it between all the crew, even if it's like $30,000 each. Boom.
I get that she's upset that she didn't make as much money because of after the success, but I feel like they also need to. I think more companies should be doing that. Should split out some amount of it, not the whole amount, obviously, but there's I think Ben Affleck and I don't know who else.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
They've got their own company out, and they're doing that. They're giving them incentives. So, like, if we do this a success,
for their latest one on Netflix, they said they wanted to
benefit being rich and wealthy and in control. Like, these kids are not in control of Obsession. They just got it bought, and it's out of their hands.
I mean,
but Ben Affleck has got the control. We made a profit. We hand it back because they don't need the money.
But I feel like over time, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon have become such kind of like pros in that world, not only just as actors but as producers and directors, and they've got their heads screwed on so tight that they know and go, well, hang on, the money needs to go to these people. I want to keep these people happy. It's only fair that these people get something. Like they just know how to keep everyone happy, man.
Anyway, we still haven't got onto Backrooms.
Yeah, let's go Backrooms.
The bit I was going to say, that was just that was the precursor about Obsession. That I was going to say the bit about.
I haven't even got to Backrooms.
About Backrooms. We're going to be doing 1 hour records. It's just hit 1 hour.
Jesus. This is technically, at the moment, this is Scary Movie and other shit. This isn't even Backrooms yet.
You should do it as a two-part.
It's false advertising right now.
The box office for Backrooms is not quite as much as Obsession, but it is definitely going to overtake Obsession. But that's not going to minimize Obsession because the amount they put into it and the percentage rise. Backrooms cost around 10 million roughly, but they're at 213, and it's only been million profit, and that's only after 2 weeks. So they're going to surpass by a long shot. And this one is the most profitable and highest grossing of A24. It was the highest previously, and this is surpassed it again. And it's a weird film, and no one knows much about it, and I didn't know much about it, and I even watched a couple of the YouTube things to see what it was on about. Still don't know anything about it, and I think that's in an era where we're talking about trailers giving too much away, and it puts you off seeing them sometimes. This trailer gave things away, but it made no sense. So you still had to go and see it to connect the dots. So I think the mystery is what made it popular.
But even once you connect the dots, there is so many interesting kind of conversations around this film that people are talking about that I'll bring up in this next half an hour or whatnot. But
Yeah, I mean, when we left the cinema, we were like, normally for my mate, we chat about it for like 10, 20 minutes as soon as we leave. We left and we're like, look at each other going, I don't know. Did I like it? Did I not like what the fuck happened? What was that ending? I need to do some research. So we drove home messaging, not whilst in the car, but we got home, we were messaging each other. Like, I found this about it. I found this about it. Oh, that's why that makes sense. And it's, again, one of those films like Die My Love, where it's a great film, but you have to do research afterwards and it makes it better. What was your thoughts, Jas?
So obviously going into this film, all I remember was when they first announced it, they're hiring at the time I think he was 17 or 18 years old, Kane Parsons.
16 when he started the YouTube series. Yeah.
Yeah,
like, why is he getting
he's only
hired?
20 now, isn't he? Yeah.
But he's been trying to make this film for like 4 years, man, technically.
Yeah. And so I was intrigued by that. I was like, oh, he's quite a young director. Then I realized it was a YouTube. I still haven't watched them to this day. But I saw like a mini clip of it, like 5-6 seconds, and it looked creepy. And I was like, okay, I can't wait for this movie. And then as soon as I saw that Renate Reinsve is in it, I was like, okay. Because that girl, she plays a therapist in this film. She's been my therapist since 2021, just so you know. Ever since I've seen her in The Worst Person in the World, I was like mesmerized by her. Like,
she's amazing.
She's so good. And I quite enjoyed it. I found footage. I think found footage films do something to me. They make my palms sway, and I feel like that's for everyone. But and even when it's not the found footage bits, like when it gets onto the video camera that they're taking around with them, just the whole camera shots of it anywhere, like because the rooms are. Like you want to know what's in every corner, but you can't see it all at once. And then when they're slowly panning, I was like, almost like, oh, please don't be anything there yet. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready. I was amazed and also confused. But I suppose that's the art of it, right? That's like it's okay to be confused. Just ride the wave.
But it's great that the production company A24 had the confidence in this guy. And that's what the big thing that people were saying at the beginning, weren't they? Like, yeah, he's got a great concept, but let's give it to a director who can nail it. And they went, no, we're going to give the kid a chance, And everyone keeps going, nah, it can't have just been just him. And all the actors have come out shouting, going, stop talking shit. We've been on set every day. He ran it. And I've seen interviews with him. He's not a normal 20-year-old. He's like a 40-year-old in a 20-year-old's body. He talks like he's a professor. He is an intelligent young guy.
He's also incredibly humble, though, right? Because he was in an interview, and I can't remember if it was Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, but he was saying, because he's like, oh, you guys created the music for it. He's like, yeah, so Kane Parsons and Ido Van Bremen, they created the soundscape for the original YouTube series, and they wanted to bring it into the kind of motion picture. But it was the fact that he said, even being like the fact that he's an amazing kind of filmmaker is brilliant, because he was just saying, oh, just to be able to create music would be such a nice kind of occupation, like a great job to do. So the guy is so humble. Not only has he made like his first ever film was like absolutely smashed cinema. The fact that he's saying, oh yeah, but if I could just make tracks with my mate in a studio, I'm happy with that. You're like, what? This guy is so humble and so down to earth that he's not led by his ego. He's a pure artist that just wants to create content that kind of excites and confuses and gets brain like sweating. Do you know what I mean? It's like this film is like taking your brain to the gym. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He said as well that he won't do a Star Wars movie. Someone asked him already, will you do a Star Wars movie?
I love that.
He's like, no, I'm not really interested in CGI and really against AI. I want to be creative within, because they built the whole set. It's like 50,000 square foot or something.
I think I've seen in a studio, they've got like on top of the roofs of the actual back rooms, and it's like massive.
Well, that room at the very end where had the kind of huts, the outside of those little houses, that was real. They put a green screen.
Yeah, and they had a huge.
Yeah, so there was an interior section for the main rooms. That bit was outside, but they boxed it off. And then obviously just before the very end scene, that would have been some VFX to make it look as much of a well. Obviously, they didn't build that, but
They almost had like a hot air balloon, but like of a light that could just shine down on the whole thing. And like you said, Kev, they had like blue screen, so they were able to make it look like it's inside the back rooms.
Yeah. They couldn't make all of it, obviously, but they made most of it, which is.
And I don't know how good you are with editing. You could actually put a green orange tint on my screen right now. I kind of feel like I'm set up like it's the back room.
In the back rooms.
That wasn't my attempt. I just feel like it just reminded me of it. But yeah.
Well, I was going to say, sorry, just jumping off what Kev said was really interesting, that people, some of the theories, which I love, and this is because they're like everyone's got their theories on the back rooms, which I love. It's everyone's own interpretation. But some people are saying it's an attack on AI, which I love. It's the idea that, so the back rooms is either an analogy for AI trying to recreate things that it can't quite get right. And that's all the different rooms. Like, you know, when the camera pans down and shows the different variations of things, because it's like,
it's getting worse and worse, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the idea of an idea of an idea of an idea of an idea. It's like Chinese whispers that was actually manifested into actual things. But also, sorry. But I was going to say, but also for me, it's an analogy for social media, because you think about algorithms. So when you've got something that your social media knows what you like, right? So it gives you this thing, and then it tries to give you variations of the thing that you like, which is not quite the thing you like. And I was like, holy shit, like that's the back rooms, and you're trapped in the social media thing because you can't escape. When you go to your main menu or whatever, or the search, it brings up thousands of versions of the things that you like, and you can't get to like normality anymore. So
that what I like about what so Kane Parsons has said in an interview, again, you probably guys have already heard this, but he knows exactly what's going on. People are like, wow, so ambiguous. And he goes, no, it's not. About what? He's like, no, I've got a plan. It's all mapped out. There is a reason for everything. And he's like, oh, what are they? He goes, well, you interpret it the way you wish, and there will be a sequel, or they're going to do a sequel, and we've got plans of where it's going to go that will explain things a little bit more and give you a bit more. I was like, that's great, because in a way you could watch this and go, he just created rooms of madness, and there's no point to it. But there is. I love the fact there's a point to it. And he also, like you said about that, it's the idea of cut and paste, he says, as well. It's like, but the ambiguous bit for us at this moment before the sequel comes out is that why and how. We can tell that there's copies of the people in there, but why and how. And you, like with the ending, is she stuck in there forever as that weird thing? Or did she go out and she's living a normal life, and that copy's in there doing its own thing, living its own life, bumping into walls and stuff, because her mum was terrified, didn't leave her house, and they think that there was a portal next to her house. So when she grew up, what's her name? Renata? Is it Renata?
I think
Renate Rins. You have to say it in a Norwegian accent to get it right.
Yeah. She's
Rins playing Mary. Yeah, because we get flashbacks because we got Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Amazing.
So those two are the two main characters. She's a therapist. He needs some therapy. And we don't know much about them, but it does we hear about his past a little bit, but not really, just having some marital difficulties. And we see her past. We see her past getting locked in a room, and that echoes the back rooms. So you're thinking, is the back rooms in her head? Is the back rooms in her mum's head and she's in her mum's head? It was so confusing. Like, what the fuck is this film about? Yeah. Well, and it's so clever that it throws options at you, but doesn't force feed you. And it, again, treats you like an intelligent person by not giving you all the answers.
I feel like if there is a sequel, I do not want him to tell us what it is. I want it still to be open to interpretation, but a little hint of what it could be. You know what I mean?
I think that will. I think he'll. If it's finished, if 2 finishes it, there's talks of him doing a series of other smaller things. But let's say number 2 finishes it and he goes, it's all done. All the answers are there. And you're like, are they? Fuck. Pay attention, watch again. and you can find out, and all the
Yeah.
answers are there, but it's not obvious. That would be perfect.
Well,
Yeah.
can I share some of my theories with you that I've written down,
please.
if I may? And if anyone gets bored at any point, just interrupt me. But
Well, we'll go shit or quite good.
yeah. So I was going to say, Windows is a very kind of big symbol in the Backrooms movie. So I was saying, from Mary at a young age trying to open the window, which I didn't realize at first when I first watched it, when she removes the piece of paper that her mum's put all over the windows, she's actually trying to open the window, and that's when her mum comes in.
That was the biggest jump of the film as well.
Yeah.
So we weren't expecting that. Shit myself.
And then she's got the book called The Window Inside, which is the one that he's listening to in his car stereo. Then I said Clark calls her to let him know he's opened a window and won't be coming back. Then you got the window cartoon on the wall, on the kind of Muriel thing on the wall, when Mary goes through into the back rooms with the writing about various things and the pirate Clark sending people to the window through him. Clark looks through a window when he's trying to get Kat and Bobby to bring them into the house.
And you can't see them.
Yeah, he looks through the window, which I think is so clever of all of the kind of symbolism. And then I say, I have a theory, though, with the reason that we don't... Oh, yeah, hang on. This is a different thought. Sorry. You know, you've got all the people in the hazmat suits at the very beginning. Well, you see it later on, but at the very beginning, that guy that's kind of getting chased is wearing the hazmat suit. So this is just a theory. But my theory is the reason we don't see any of the distorted figures of the people in the hazmat suits is that the pirate Clark has been eating them and killing them. Hence the beginning found footage moment, which is also a reason why they created a trap in the end around those card people that play out all the different languages. So they're trying to catch that entity that is the giant kind of pirate Clark. Because I was thinking, why is there all these like gas cylinders set up around the cardboard figure? And more than that, you know the bit where Phil's character that's played by Mark Duplass, he looks at the screen and originally we think that he's looking at, he recognizes the young guy, the guy acting out as the pirate. I think it's more than that. I think he's going, holy shit, that's the reason there's a pirate monster, because it's based on him.
Because he's come in, I
also feel like it might be like there's a trap of time as well. So he's seeing them for the first time, but he's seen pirate him.
100%, dude. I'm so glad you said that, because there's a really clever element of time jumps in this, which is really clever because it's almost like time machine-esque, right, with the back rooms. Because at the very beginning, I think it's set in June 9th or something, right? Yeah. But what's crazy, so the first time that Clark goes into the back rooms, at one point when he goes into one of the rooms, you see some red kind of flip-flops or slippers and black shoes that are half stuck in the ground. And there's like a throne that's on its side, which is the same throne that Clark falls, like when he sits back and it breaks and he falls through and he goes, this furniture's so shit. He's like, turn off the camera. But what's really scary is when you look at Kat and Bobby's feet, she's wearing the red flip-flops and he's wearing the black shoes. So when he goes in the first time, there's already like elements of Kat and Bobby before they've even entered the back room. So it's like
it's like
you can tell the future, which is
that
really
makes me think of you. That makes me think. You know the Bobby guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing that crop top thing that says apartheid on it, and when he goes down into that basement bit, his T-shirt's already there. He's like, what the hell?
100%.
The guy comes out and grabs him. That was scary when he grabs him and drags him in blood. And because none of this felt murdery. It didn't feel murdery until then. It just felt creepy. Didn't think murder would happen because nothing actual vicious happened.
I feel like your theories are way better than mine, because this is my raw thought theory when I came out was the Backrooms is an entity from out of this world, obviously, and it's trying to mimic the outside world. and it's just anyone who does go in, it's instantly sucking their memories. But their memory is obviously, like you said, it's a copy. It's like literally how they said in the film, where it's like describing a dog to someone who hasn't seen it and telling them seen one before and telling them to draw it. The entity is literally looking in his memory, and it's probably like how fucking that in Project Hail Mary, what's the Rocky, how he sees things. It could be like that almost, and he doesn't understand it. And also, he's like, okay, this is what I see, and then projects it straight away rather than letting it load. It's like straight instant, like throws it into the rooms.
Well, what's the company called that's doing it? Because aren't they? Yeah, but what they do brain scans or something.
MRI. They do MRI.
MRI scans. So there we go. So memories, brains.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that actually, because someone was saying if you move during an MRI, it creates this kind of
massive long eyeball stuff.
Which is what that guy on that chair with the little clicker looked like.
Eyes.
With the glasses. So going into the still life bits, right? I put the still life figures are made of edible cake almost, which is kind of crazy in itself, right? The bit that reminded me, actually almost reminded me of, the show Is It Cake? But it's actually, no, it's the Backrooms. Do you remember Is It Cake, where they would cut through random objects? But obviously this is like life figures. So I said those still life distorted figures are hidden in the shadows, right? Because it's not until Clark goes in the second time, and there's that kind of Christmas tree. Yeah. I think they're hiding from Pirate Clark because he eats people, right? He's a fiend. So I feel like they're hiding in the shadows.
And why is he eating people, though? That's the question. Because it's just one of the copies, so the copies don't need to eat.
Yeah, but in a weird way, because Pirate Clark eats Bobby's character, so he's eating and killing people, right? Because he's the darkest version of Clark, and we get the feeling that Clark has been hanging out with Pirate Clark, and now they're both murderers. Because
go
on.
Well, what you just said, we're all getting somewhere with this brain memory thing, and he's seen a therapist and he's got some anger issues, hasn't he?
Yes.
He's being polite to his wife, but he doesn't say what he wants to say. He just leaves. But maybe that's because he's done something bad in the past that he's not allowing himself to do. So he's walked away from his current wife, but maybe he's done a bad deed or he's got murderous thoughts. So when the copy happens, they've copied a bad person.
And that's why that's more
Where
aggressive.
the other people that have been copied, they just might be normal people, so they're just scared of the aggressive copy.
Well, bearing in mind, I think it was either Jazz or Kev, you said this, the Backrooms has been analyzing Clark for months or years potentially, right? And we only ever see him angry, getting annoyed at his TV, because he doesn't have a house. He's just staying inside the showroom, drinking whiskey, even though he talks about beers. He never drinks beers, which I think is fascinating. You notice that? He's drinking whiskeys or brandy. You notice that?
No.
He always says, I had a few beers, which is interesting because some alcoholics just say, I had a few beers, because it sounds innocent compared
or
to...
he's going on hard liquor.
Yeah, I had half a bottle of rum. What are you talking about? But rum is also kind of connected to pirates, which I think is fascinating as well. So unless I'm just
how many of these are real attachments, or are we just stretching?
I'm reaching for that one. But what is interesting is the fact that if the Rooms has analyzed Clark and it's taken all of the dark version of him, and because it's so overwhelming, that's why he's so tall. So it's the idea that he's in the shadow of the darkness and he's looking up, because it's like it becomes so overwhelming that is what's kind of taking over.
And that brings me to Robert Bobrowski, the actor who plays the mental alien in Alien Romulus.
Yeah, the big baby.
The big baby.
Oh, the one with the he looks exactly like. Yeah.
So he's a basketball player, and they got him in for that, and now he's done Backrooms. So that pirate was not a man on stilts. That was just a man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He is your go-to tall, scary motherfucker, basically.
They didn't.
He's 7'7". He's 2.3 meters.
So he was in like a suit then, was it? Wasn't no CGI at all? Well, I'm guessing
No CGI at all. Yeah, he's got a prosthetic mask to make him look like a fucked up pirate because he's a white guy. I think he's Russian or something.
That's what I thought was a bit interesting because technically isn't
Romanian.
that blacking up in a weird way? Like that's what I thought was a bit.
No, it's a
obscure.
mask. What he didn't paint his face.
No,
He
I-
put a mask on.
No, I know, but again, I think it's interesting that. Anyway, we don't need to go
Scary movie
into
Backrooms.
the controversy of it. It's Tropic Thunder on stilts, basically. But,
Scary Movie 7 came out. That would probably happen, yes. But let's.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen, isn't it?
So I'll jump back into some of my notes here. I was going to say, I get the feeling that Clark has been in there for a few months, right? You know, like later on after he says, I've opened a window and I'm not coming back.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a serious while because I put here, until Mary goes to find him, that's why there's loads of mail in the furniture shop that's mounted up.
Yeah.
And the rip-off bit has now been like smudged off, like someone's kind of just... But I thought that was interesting that it says rip-off, but it's like RIP, which is kind of like rest in peace, which I thought was quite cool as well. Also,
How many
that's
times did
why...
you watch this film?
3 times.
How do you, like, are you actually 3 times?
Yeah, no, seriously, guys, I was going to say you need to, like, listeners listening to this episode, you need to go back to Backrooms. When I first watched it,
3 times.
I gave it a 4-star, right? But now I genuinely think it's 5-star. Like, it's mind blowing when you return to it and see all the different kind of nuances and hidden details. But I was going to say, where was I? Yeah, the rip off has been removed from the window. Also, that's why we see the missing posters on abstract lamp posts. The Backrooms is engulfing the entire city and trying to make copies of it. But the reason why there's the missing posters is because in real life, Kat and Bobby have been gone so long because they've been murdered inside the back rooms and everyone's wondering where they are.
So the time moves differently as well in there.
Yeah. And then I put Clark has started hanging out with his darker form and he explains how he eats people. So he lets his darker half eat Kat as well as Bobby, because Bobby gets eaten and pulled through the shaft. But I think, why is there just Kat's head in a fridge? So I think he's negotiating with his darker half. Like as in, like, you know, like the kind of Hansel and Gretel, just like feeding, like giving it pieces to eat, essentially.
To stop him eating him, maybe. He's like,
Yeah.
I've got a bit here for you now. Because that's so funny when he picks him up and you think nothing's going to happen. They're friends.
Yeah,
He just
they're going to
takes a
hug
chunk
or he's
out of
going to
his
whisper in his
shoulder.
ear.
I was starting to think that why all of a sudden he wants to eat him now? Was he about to kill himself? Or so he was ready to like end it all, wasn't he? The real what's his name? I forgot the character's name.
Clark.
Real Clark's name. He at that moment in time, he's ready because he's accepting that he was horrible to his wife or whatever. And I feel like it was leading up to him and or either leaving or ending it all. And then I think Pirate Clark was like, I sent something. There must be like some kind of like mind reading and whatnot. And then he's like, nope, you're not going anywhere. I'm eating you. I'm going to consume you. So he's basically almost like taking all his. I'm guessing that's what happens when he.
Well, yeah,
when
does
he
it make you more powerful if you eat your original entity
I'm assuming so.
or
But
something?
I think he's pissed off because he's like, you're not as dark as I am because you're letting this go.
That's
Because
it.
he's
Yeah.
like, you're actually showing signs of being compassionate, and that's
Why
not
is he a,
wrong
but
with.
why is he a pirate? Is it the most stressful part or most embarrassing thing most recently?
most-
Like, what?
I think it's the most- No, I think it is. I think it is the idea of it's all of the things that frustrate Clark the most. He's surrounded in hallways with furniture that's constantly blocking everything and taking over his life. This pirate Clark is a kind of joke of him trying to sell his business, but it keeps failing. So it's a big reminder, because it's tall, a big reminder of his failings, but also it's this dark version that just literally consumes things.
I think it's funny. There's a funny joke in there, something like, "What are you, an Ottoman Empire or a pirate?" Like, because there's two themes, isn't it? In one, just merged. It doesn't make sense.
But also, you see on the poster, there's 2 knives, which people were talking about, which is clever. So it's not an animation on the furniture shop. Because there's 2 knives, it's almost like a dual personality, which I think is really clever.
Okay.
On the poster.
Yeah, the poster of the Clark's shop.
Oh, in there. Right. Yeah.
The logo is a pirate that has 2 swords. So you're like, hang on a minute, like a double-edged sword. Like,
Again, I think the popularity of this was probably not just the fact that it's people like us who don't know anything or who are curious. It's that he created such a big impact online prior, and that's why the kids are coming and being annoying in the fucking cinema. But I think that's why the kids are coming, because they understand it, and because there's not much talking on these videos, it's probably opened up to a wider audience worldwide. You know, like Mr. Bean's more popular than most comedies in Britain because
there's no dialogue.
Every country gets it. Whereas I watched some of those videos and I skipped loads. There's a couple that are like 5 minutes I watched, and it is creepy. It's just handheld cameras and some noises and stuff. And there's one that's like an hour long. I'm not watching all that. I just skip 5 minutes every now and again, and nothing happens. Like nothing happens.
But this
good. It's engaging.
Creepy pasta is what they were calling it. I think it's the idea of like just atmosphere. People are getting immersed in atmosphere. But going back with that though, I love the fact, kind of going with what Jazz was saying about the idea that the rooms read people's minds based on MRI or whatever, their memories, their brains. Because if you notice that it changes every time a character goes in. So you've got, when Clark goes in, you've got the kind of crazy furniture and you've got the TV that's kind of like his little mini bedroom, right? Then when the other 2, Bobby and Kat, go in, it's kind of like beds and there's still furniture, but it's not as kind of crazy. And then when Mary goes in, there's no furniture pretty much, apart from random little chairs. It's just clear space, which I was thinking is a metaphor. Mind. Yeah, a clearer mind. It's like an analogy for her mind because she's done the work. She's tried to clear in here, do some work on herself. So that every time someone else goes in there, it takes pieces of who they are. But I was going to say the ending, I think, again, obviously this is major spoilers and stuff. I don't think it is her, because the fact that there's 2 or 3 versions of her on a chair is a reminder that the Backrooms has tried to create a version. But more fascinating than that, Clark says, or somebody says, the more times you come, it does a reprint, right? So it does a reprint. So the fact that there's 3, I don't think anyone's talking about this on the internet yet. The fact that there's 3 versions of Mary on a chair shows that she's returned more than once.
You're on something there. Oh, it could be that. Yeah, no, you're right. Oh, it could be that area. Yeah. Because are we sticking to the fact that it could be that Backrooms is always going to be like gloomy orange corridors? Is it orange? I'm not thinking green. Where it colour?
No, it is. You're right. It's yellow. It's kind of sepia. It's like a yellow sepia corridor.
That scene, that bit at the end, it's that room, and it's got multiple faces. It's not back in the Backrooms.
No, you're right. She's in an interview room. She's in a version of an interview room because that's how the Backrooms remembers her final moments.
Or they've grabbed out a copy of her to see if they talk and whatnot. It could be that. I don't know. It could be a lot of things.
Because they basically imprisoned her. They could have put her back in.
Did you notice though that the big pirate Clark is on an actual stretcher? Yeah, when they're walking past,
they've got him.
It is human because they do the MRI thing and you see it's bones, it's flesh, it's a real. It's the scariest entity because the other ones are just like weird, made out of cake, don't do anything, don't feel anything. They just kind of. But that one moves and it's angry.
When he takes it out, it looks like rice to me. So I was like,
actually fluffy, definitely cake. Fluffy rice or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, like rice pudding, pudding on a cracker or something. It was very bizarre. Very bizarre.
But like when it comes to like creepy moments, the best couple of creepy moments I'd say is like that the woman that appears behind the Christmas tree, did not expect there to be anything there at all. That just came out of nowhere. There was no build up. And then that bit, like you mentioned before, where he's knocking on the wall and the woman that we can't see can see him because she can see glass, she can see straight through.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
And then someone picks up his camcorder in the background.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is gone Blair Witchy.
Yeah.
That was great. That was a
When
great moment.
when Bobby gets pulled on the rope, that bit scared the shit out of me. Like
I
when
thought he
he's
was going to get out. I thought it was like the panic of getting the rope off.
he's like, "Can you just take the fucking thing off?" And they're kind of like they're not taking it so seriously. And he gets pulled. He's like, "Whoa, guys!" Like,
And did you expect him to just get free at the last second?
I was
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I was expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah. And nope.
They went there. I love that they went dark, like you're saying, like that whole kind of like trail of blood going into the kind of like that flap into the.
And,
It was a weird flap, wasn't it? Yeah.
and you know the actual monster from all the posters and stuff doesn't exist in this. So have we not seen it yet, or
No,
It's like a weird
the one from
thing,
YouTube,
right?
right? No.
Yeah.
See, now I've read and watched some YouTube things. That's called the bacteria, and what they're
it
saying.
doesn't look like a human?
That's based on the bacteria that was just living inside the back rooms. You know, almost like in Alien, you know, like in Prometheus, where it's like the little bacteria that drinks the black liquid and turns into like a version of a face hugger. It's that, but for back rooms. So the bacteria living inside the back rooms has formed into that weird creature thing. But that's what they think Clark is, essentially. The pirate Clark is the bacteria has amalgamated into a physical manifestation of Clark.
This is insane.
Wow.
I don't even know where to go with this because it's too much and it's intriguing.
Guys, this is why I love it. This is why when I first watched it, there's too much to digest. The mind can't deal with it. So people come out and give it like 3.5 star, 4 star. But I promise you, when you return to it, go back to Back Rooms and you will change your rating because it's so clever. It's so well
I'm
crafted.
definitely gonna watch it again.
It's so well
will.
crafted. I bought the album, guys. I bought it just because I think the soundscape and the atmosphere that.
That's a nice stressful listen. That's just
No. But there are actually some really chilled. There are some really chilled tracks on there, though. So it's like
great tracks. Here's a track called
Kane Parsons.
Pirate. It goes.
Here's a track called
Huh?
Here's a track called Tube Light. It's just a sound of tube.
It's one called Yellow Corridor.
And some person speaking foreign through a tape deck in the distance.
I just love it, man. It's just so atmospheric. Like I have never
Just walking to work.
I've never left a film feeling the way I feel after that. So
That's weird, man. There's some weird soundtracks out there, but that's got to take the
it's
biscuit.
cool, though, man. But there are some banging tracks on there, man. I tell you.
Banging tracks.
I'm just I'm inspired.
He's like, it'll be really good when like you and your girl, like, let me set the mood straight.
Let me just put on a little bit of Back Rooms, baby. Kev, I'll send you a couple, and you'll be like, actually, that is actually a really cool track.
So Renate Reinsve, like how amazing of a year she's had so far. She's had the first Oscar nomination for Sentimental Value.
Oh yeah,
she was involved with Palme d'Or with Fjord, and shout out to Leon with the 7th consecutive Palme d'Or. Like that's crazy, 7 in a row. And then of course Backrooms, how great that's doing. She's got a jam-packed year so far, and I can't wait to see her in more films. I can't wait for Fjord. It's going to be so
it's got
good.
Sebastian Stan in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. It
I think
says
it's
here
about immigrants in Norway or something.
an immigrant Romanian family living in Norway is subject to an investigation and faces the scrutiny of the local justice system. So that tells us nothing. So that's interesting.
I like that.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
what
the trailer as well.
Sebastian Stan is becoming like a kind of chameleon now. He's really starting
He's got
to.
an art house. He's
Yeah,
got an
now
art,
that
hasn't
he's
he?
started to step out of Marvel. I mean, obviously he's returning for Doomsday, but he's really, yeah. I mean, he's.
Also, Harvey Dent.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Batman, yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like when
Batman
actors
too.
allowed to do that when they say like one for me, one for them. Like they go like, "I'll do a Marvel because that will buy me a house," but I'm gonna actually then that affords me 5 years to make films and projects I'm interested in.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
and this is what
Like
we were
Robert
saying.
Pattinson,
Ryan Gosling.
yeah, Ryan Gosling, Robert
Yeah,
Pattinson.
yeah, yeah,
They'll
yeah.
do Batman so they can do some weird things like Die My Love and
One
all this
hundred.
crazy shit and the drama.
Yeah, or
Brilliant.
good. What was it? Good Times and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want.
But that
Yeah.
for me shows like not just actors that are driven by their ego and vanity, they're artists that go, I want to be able to afford the luxury of being able to do indie films because that's where my heart's at. But the franchises, like you're saying, pay the bills while I can do that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tom Holland said that as well. He's like, I'll do these couple of Spider-Man Odyssey, and as soon as I have a kid, I might be out of the industry entirely, but I'm set
Yeah,
up.
I heard about
And I
that.
might I might
Yeah.
do my own little projects because he likes to write and stuff like that. And he did that Apple drama where he starred in it as well. That was really
That's
good.
something with
Was it,
rooms as well, isn't it?
It
That's
was
something.
dark. That was
Yeah.
was it
dark.
Cherry? Was it that film Cherry? Or are you
Oh, I
talking
want to
about?
see
Yeah.
Cherry. Cherry looks cool.
Yeah, there was that, but he also did a series as well, which was really good.
I swear it
Oh,
had
is that when
rooms
he
in
had
it.
long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he gets bullied and then
Psychological.
let me find it. Rather than
Um,
the
I think,
crowded room. The crowded
told you
room.
it had rooms in it. Fucking said it has rooms in it.
Yeah.
and see, Tom Holland said so. I don't know if this was like a rumor or something, but on the set of Odyssey, he saw how a real film should be filmed or something like that, or being made. He was on the phone to Sony or something, saying that this is how it should be done, blah blah blah. But I don't know how much that is true.
Well, no,
Or
he
they
took,
just-
Yeah.
Jazz, no, he took the reins. He was inspired by Nolan, and he started to realize that how much creative control he has. So he started saying, "We need to be doing this in this film to make it the best it can be." And they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, okay, hang on." So it's like an actor, know your station, but because he's such a big part and pivotal part of Spider-Man,
He is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
100%.
one else that can be Spider-Man. It's like they can't sack him and get someone else that does backflips. He's the whole package,
Yeah,
and he's got
yeah.
the charisma and the Britishness to like
yeah,
that
But-
makes it. And he's the one that created the storyline in Spider-Man about puberty. He's like, we need to do a scene because you've seen the trailers, a scene where he comes out of a pupus of like where he gets bigger or whatever or stronger.
yeah.
this is all
That's his
based on the
idea.
comic. He was saying,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to bring stuff back for the comics, like to give the fans what they
Even-
really want.
Yeah, even visually on the trailer, it looks darker, less colorful,
Yeah.
more gritty. And I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
it'll
moving.
change. I reckon it'll be gritty at the beginning until he gets his friendship group back, and then it will go all fun and silly again.
That's interesting. Yeah, very atmospheric. But also, I'd just like to say that I think Tom Holland is such a role model, though. Like when you think of like Hollywood, and you think of like him, he's such a down to earth, humble, wonderful human
Yeah.
being that
He doesn't
young
want to be in it
kids-
if he doesn't
Yeah.
need to be.
Yeah, but also it's the idea that young kids could look up to him and be like, "That's the kind of person I'd want to be. That's the kind of actor / celebrity I want to be."
Yeah. He's also said last week before, I think, you know how John Berthnall's done The Punisher. I didn't realize that John Berthnall wrote and directed that. Well, I don't know if he directed. Sorry, he wrote The
Yeah,
Punisher.
he wrote
one-off
the screen,
story.
he wrote the screenplay concept for it. Yeah,
Yeah, and obviously the Punisher is going to be in the new Spider-Man film, and obviously he's going to be watered down because he's too violent for Spider-Man.
Yep.
Tom Holland a few weeks ago said, "I'm going to return the favor, and I will happily be in a Punisher film and go R-rated." So Spider-Man like proper ripping it up. So that would be good. And do you hear this? Everyone must have heard this story by now, but for the audience, if they haven't, John Berthnall, the Punisher, and the guy from The Bear recorded Tom Holland's video for Spider-Man, as in his audition tape. He filmed Tom Holland doing his backflips and acting.
what?
That's John and Tom Holland filmed John Berthnall for his to get his part as the Punisher. So they both filmed
Really?
each other's audition tape.
What? I never knew
Whoa.
that. That is Mind blowing.
I know it sounds weird to
More
ask.
mind blowing than Backrooms, actually. That is.
I know this sounds weird, like to ask this question, like we know them, but like you might not know the answer. But were they in a film together to have that relationship already at the time? Because I feel like years ago I didn't know who Tom Holland was.
They
before
must have been on
that.
something. So I'm just trying to look back as well, because he was on that. He was doing like Billy Elliot, and he was doing all sorts of other stuff as well.
Yeah.
It could have been anything, to be honest.
It could be like he was on Broadway at the time, or
It could have been because John Bernthal does a lot on Broadway
Yeah.
as well.
yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was amazing, and John Bernthal had to make the point. He goes, look, kid, I'll do this, but you're not going to get it. It's Spider-Man. You're not going to get it. And apparently Tom Holland just went in a non-arrogant way. Oh, I'm getting it. I'm Spider-Man. So, good lad. Anyway, we've gone on way too far anyway. We've gone on an hour longer than I expected. So
Well, I'm glad that Backrooms got a little bit more juice, because it would have felt wrong if Scary Movie had more juice than Backrooms.
But yeah, I think there's a lot to talk about on both, even if one of them's negative and funny.
No, I agree. Yeah.
But Jazz, it's been cool hanging out with you again, buddy. Like, it's been too long.
If it was just if you hadn't come on, Jazz, it would just me and Drew talking about our favorite bits, even though it wasn't amazing. Our favorite bits. I love the fact you came on and told us it was a pile of shit, and it felt like we had to prove there was some bits that are worth it.
But having said that, like as much as I thought it was a piece of shit, you guys pinpointed some things that was pretty good. Not pretty good. That's not the word. That was okay. I get why you liked it. You know what I mean? I can appreciate that you guys enjoyed it in a way, and they were
They missed the mark a lot, but there was worth seeing. I'm glad I went. And some films you go, shouldn't have bothered leaving the house.
I think
I'm glad I went.
I think this new concept, I really like this new concept on like perspectives of films with guests is awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Me and Drew have different opinions on a lot of things, but we're usually quite aligned. So it's usually, good to get you involved.
And bringing in more whales to the pod. I love it.
I feel like with watching films, I'm always happy to go to the cinema, regardless. I think even if it's a bad film, good film, the trip to the cinema is the greatest pleasure of our lives. Let's be honest with her. Like, if I ever lose, I'm already losing my sight. My glasses are. I feel that's my biggest fear. Losing my sight and losing my hearing. I think all other fears can piss off. That is the biggest fear.
You're right. Are you thinking for movies? I mean, obviously your eyes and ears are.
No, I think day-to-day life, but I feel like obviously secondary cinema. But day-to-day life, I feel like but I feel like cinema is like the greatest thing in the world in my life.
We can make you a paraplegic, but give you laser eye surgery, and you'll be happy.
Oh, mate, all day. As long as my bottom half works as well a bit.
Well, yeah, because then technically, you've got
like pissing my pants.
Excuse to just watch movies and Netflix and chill, I guess.
Yeah.
Roll around like a potato.
Netflix and chill. I won't be able to feel that chill part. But
is there a chill in here? Wait, can someone put the heating on? I can't tell. No, it's fine.
Cool, man. All right. Well, we won't see you on our Ragewell Day in London, unfortunately, but we'll do another one soon. I'm sure.
You are there in spirit, Gaz. You are there in spirit. I want
to be. Like it hurts my heart knowing that I most likely won't be there. But I'd rather be in London with you guys. Let's go. High five, everyone. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
I'll trim that bit out.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll get you back on again.
Yeah,
and watch something else.
Nice one, man.
Thanks for listening, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.
Thank you all for your continued support, and please check out our back catalogue of fun episodes with many brilliant guests. Just to remind you, Rage Whale is on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and YouTube, where you can follow and subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Also, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok for fun clips from the show. There are links there for Rage Whale merch, as well as our email address if you want to send us a question or your movie opinion. We always love hearing from you. Thanks again for spending your time with us. See you next time.